Hi, yes, Simon Rushton. I've been a driver for a while now, and a lot of people ask me on my platform for tips. So this is going to give you 5 good tips to be able to implement when you're driving. First thing is about dropping off. I'm talking as an Uber driver. I say Uber because it's a generic term, but it's the correct term is PCO driver, which is public carriage operator. Yeah, officer, sorry, or one of the two. And basically you drive on Uber, Bolt, Free Now, or Ola when they are around. So this is just some driving tips. The first thing is, if you dropping somebody off, where you dropping somebody off, try and stay in that location. Obviously, if you're on a double red line or single red line, and it's not Sunday, if it's single red line, you can't stop on there. But drive around the corner, drive too far, or find a bay somewhere you can pull over and you're not going to get harassed by the traffic warden. Reason being is, where Uber has dropped you, seen that you dropped that passenger, they're looking for people in that area to give you a job. If you drive down the road and they're still ping that, gives you a job back there, and you're going to have to end up driving back. And then when you're in a city and you've got traffic and thousands of people in their suits walking around, it's just one problem after another trying to get back to there. Obviously you've got LTNs where the stupid mayor has blocked roads for God knows what be the reason, but politics aside. So that's that. I will say also, to add to that, don't be aware that your reception may not be what it should be, as in your 5G. If your 5G reception's not there, your signal bars are not there on your phone, then you're not going to be getting the opportunity to get new jobs, because Uber can't pick you up in that sense. Now, what I will say also is that you only may have to drive around a corner. There are certain dead zones, and as you get more experience in driving, you will realise where the dead zones are in London. I know, for instance, Peckham, Dulwich has certain dead zones, are quite hilly in certain areas, for whatever bit of reason. So that's my first point on that. Second point is double red lines. Now, I found out the other day you are allowed to stop on a double red line, but only to drop somebody off who's there, or pick somebody up who's there. That does not mean you can be, where are you? All that kind of thing. They need to be at that point. So to make life easier for yourself, whatever platform you're using, press the ring bell, the call sign on that. Talk to the passenger before you get there. Say, listen, I'm coming in, it's a double red line. What side of the road are you on? If they're on the wrong side, you can ask them to cross over if possible. Find out, have they got luggage? Have they got a pram? If not, can please be ready to jump in. If they do have, can they collapse? So when I pull up, I get out the boot, get out the car, and throw everything in the back in the boot, and they can jump in and we can go about our merry. Now, that won't stop you necessarily getting a ticket. Certain boroughs will still issue you a ticket, but under the TfL rules for the whole borough, you're not meant to get one. So what you will do, you have to appeal in many cases, and they refund you. And you just quote the TfL rules for London and double red lines, being a taxi driver or PCO driver. So I hope that helps on that things. The third tip is helping people with their luggage. Now, some drivers don't want to help people with their luggage. For whatever be the reasons, that's down to you. Maybe you've got a bad back, I don't know. But I would say in that case, try and sort your back out in the gym. Don't just be a driver and not go to the gym. Gym is imperative. But staying on track, I personally want to know what's going in my car. Do they have luggage that's leaking? What are they putting in my car? I need to know. Is it even disgusting? It's smelly, it's dirty. Is the bag damaged? Whatever it is, I need to know. So that's why I get out. Also, it's a bit of exercise. It's an opportunity to stretch, twist, and test my strength, lifting up the bag, suitcase with one hand, maybe 2 hands, those kind of things. And when I'm putting it in, I want to put it in, because I want to put it in so it's not sliding around. I have a Pacific gritted rubber mat at the back to stop luggage sliding around when I'm driving, and I don't drive rough. So there's that factor. And then the last bit is, I don't want them trying to lift it up and then missing the boot, which happens, and hitting the bumper with spray paint and scratching my bumper. I don't need that. So if I take control of that situation and just tell them, feel free to get in the car while I'm doing this. Some customers just like to stand up and watch you. That's down to them, just as if you're going to leave their luggage. But, you know, people are who they are. The third thing is, check your mirrors. So when you're driving and you're coming to a stop, I say, guys, we're coming there now. So I'm letting them know, be ready. Yeah. They usually start taking their seatbelts off or whatever. I take command of the vehicle and the passengers in saying, guys, please get out on the left-hand side because that's where the pavement is, and I don't want anyone getting hit by cars. Yeah? Or lorries, that kind of thing. If it's a case that they just don't want to listen, they want to get out when they get out, you can only keep an eye on the mirror and shout if a car or a cyclist or something's coming out of the blue. Now, there is also a method that you do as a driver yourself. You take the opposite hand to the door and you use that to open. Because if you see naturally, I'm turning. So I can turn and I look down there, down my side to see if there's any cyclists, scooters or anybody coming like that at great speed. So that's a safety measure. And also, just a tip, if you're going to hire a car from any of the car companies out there, they will take you for a driving test, and that's one of the things they expect to see you do. So I hope that helps you for when you're doing your test. I did have a case, where a passenger did not listen, opened the door, a cyclist went smashing into the door frame, and well, there was a dent. No one was hurt. The cyclist cycled off. The guy apologized, but that could have been avoided if I had spoken to him first of all and took control and told him to wait, let me check the mirrors in that respect. My last but not least, is when I'm driving down the road, if there's a parked lorry or bus, I look under the front of the wheel at the front of the vehicle where the driver sits, because it's raised off the ground about a foot, to see if I see any feet. If I see feet, I won't move. I'll slow down because I know a pedestrian, whether it's elderly or a child or somebody's trying to cross, because a lot of people have it. They get out of the bus and they walk round the front of the bus and they just cross out, step out, and obviously it's a blind spot. I hope this has helped you. If you need to ask any more questions, please put the bits in the comments down below. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok and Instagram, because that's where I do lives and I share information. And don't forget to like and subscribe.